Hey guys, and welcome back to another Dear Piggy Java tutorial. So this video is going to be quick, easy, and hopefully very short. It's going to be about Java dates. So we may or may not have learned a little bit about Java dates already. I know we might have probably definitely in other languages, but we're going to be using a library here, and we're going to be talking a little bit about objects. But in general, this is really easy and not hard to understand. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go to Replit and start coding. Let me log in and let's create a new REPL. So Java create. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys here is local date. So everything, whoopsies, is very similar. That was way too zoomed in, my bad. Looks like I can't zoom in that easily here, but taking a look at the first picture here, we know that we're using local date. And local date obviously is going to be us finding a date. So one thing I really want to point out here is the object. We have local date my object equals local date.now. And you'll see in the comments there that it's saying that we're creating a date object. Now, what is an object? It's not something that we've learned before, okay? So this is brand new. How I would think about it is I would think about it as a big data type that has multiple different variables. That's how I would think about it. So definitely new. Very useful, but it's more of an intermediate Java topic. But I just wanted to let you guys know that over here, when we do the dates, we are not creating variables of any sort. So these are not integer variables, not string variables, these are objects. Now to what objects actually are, that'll probably be a few months from now in our intermediate Java course, okay? But biggest thing to remember is what we're creating here is not a string or an int, it is an object, okay? So once we got that cleared up, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to show you guys here is what we have to import, okay? So we actually do have to import something in order for us to have our date. So we have to do import java.time.local date. Okay, so we've imported our local date. Now we're going to say local date. And so now here we're going to give it a name. So this name can be anything that you want. Is equal to local date dot now. And then semicolon. So this name here is going to be our object. So this object has to be, well, presumably we would choose a better name than name, right? So we would probably give this local date is equal to local date.now. And so now if we wanted to print it out, we get system.out.println, print ln, and then we have date. Alrighty, so now we've printed out date. Let's run our code and see what we get. So while it's running, we get 2021, April 17th. And in my time, it is April 17th, okay? So I'm in Dallas, Texas on April 17th, so this is correct. So this is going to give us the date. Not anything specifics, just the date. Very simple, right? Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you guys is how to find the time. Everything, once you get the hang of it, is very similar. We have import java.time.local time. I spelled local wrong, but local time. And then again, same thing. We're going to have local time. Remember, this time is our object, and we can call it whatever we want. Local time.now. System.out.println time. I'm typing on a different computer today, so I'm not quite sure with the keys yet. But let's run our code and let's get this. So this is where things are really going to get a little bit different. Okay, so when I run my code, you're going to see that we still have April 17th. But time right now says 17:52, so it's saying that it's 5:52 in the afternoon, which for me, it's actually 12:52 p.m. So this is because they're different time zones. Now, the time zone that Replit is using is UTC time zone. Okay, so UTC time zone right now is really 5:53. Well, it's 5:53 now. It's 5:52 a minute ago. So it's using UTC time zone, which I think is somewhere in Europe, I believe. Okay, so that's what Replit is using. Now, there are ways to make it so that it gets your current time zone, but again, that's not something that we're going to be working on today. But just know that this is UTC time zone. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to have local. Nope, let's import first. Okay, so let's import java.time.local date time. There you go, it's popped up. So if local date gives us the date, local time gives us the time, then I wonder what local date time could give us. Well, obviously, it's going to give us both the date and the time. Okay, so local date time, my date time is equal to local date time dot now. System dot out dot print ln my date time. Semicolon, there we go. Let's run our code really fast and watch here. So it's running and we see 2021, 4/17, 17:54. So this is giving us the long thing with all the date and the time, like we'd guessed, right? It's telling us that in UTC time zone, it's April 17th at 5:54 p.m. Okay, so again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. This lesson was really, really easy and simple. All we had to learn about was our local date, which finds the date, local time, which finds the time, and local date time, which gives us the entire string of the date and the time. Again, this is an object, and what we have to know is that this is not like a string or an int or anything, it's an object. Now, what an object actually is, we'll get to that in our intermediate Java. But yeah, so that was it for this week's videos. I will see you guys next week, and I believe we'll start off with switch statements. So I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.